Okay. I just got back from the hallways, and the reason why I do that is because there's perps living around me, and their job is to create this fantasy. And so, sometimes what I like to do is I go in the hallway, listen to a reality that they want try to escape from, and just let them kind of process reality, right? They want to live a distorted reality, and they can't live in reality because reality is kind of nasty. Um, as target individual, we're human subjects, test subject for governmental entities. What's happening to us is things that really there's not much we can do against. The government is running a program where they are manipulating us and tormenting us and then want you to accept this false reality. And so one thing is important, target individual, they never don't identify with this stupidity, this nastiness. These people have no self-respect. They have no shame. They have no the pure disgracefulness in the flesh. You'll never see something like that in your life. Whatever benefit they got, it came at a price. That is super humiliating. Now they are gonna feed off whatever torture I'm gonna go through. As if that's gonna get this disgracefulness, the shamefulness they acquired throughout whatever time doing this thing to you back in their life. No, once you set yourself to that level, no, there's no coming back out of that. It's funny, they try to really want you to identify it like I'm listening to like a whole disturbing validation about these entities running this program. Very pedophilia-centric. I keep bringing that up. Finding that is just like it just opened a reality that's so disturbing. For me, it's just been like changing everything about me. And they still want me to believe that what they're doing is analyzing. Because like they just manipulate me. They just want to push me into insanity and want me to identify with this. When I look at them, it's like, you guys are a bunch of bottom feeders for pedophiles. For real. I was saying that before knowing this level of validation. I mean, there's a whole freaking ranking from Child Protective Service ranking the Department of Defense Network as 19th out of 2,900. Based on the network that shared the most child pornography in all the networks. And then you hear this bottom feeders try to tell you that who you are. I'm like, you are doing the pedophilia type of torture. Just 2 seconds ago, there's this person. I'm watching this interview on 106 Apart, right? It's a very popular urban radio. And they have this famous rapper. I'm watching him. And, I'm kind of moving forward. Like, I'm scrolling down on forward just to see, like, what else he's going to talk about. And I see this random person, this young person. I don't know. Like, I think for a second there, I was like, is there like a rapper that he's like, that he signed or something like that? Just kind of very young, tomboyish looking, kind of eccentric looking person, right? And I'm not sure who that person is. She has interesting hairstyle. And it looked really interesting, right? In a sense that she has a unique look. But look really young. I'm not sure how young. I truly don't care because I'm not here to figure. I mean, they're gonna talk about it or figure. But I'm seeing this, and I'm like, okay, whatever. It's probably a rapper, some young rapper that signed on this rapper. I don't know. This actually his daughter, right? And it's like she's 16 years old, and it's not like you see that's proof. I think they try to say the proof that I guess I did not say her age, or I didn't even think about her age, or something like that. In case, and I'm like, okay, at this point they just try to look for things to try to get you to like subscribe. They really want you to identify this person. Even let's just say this person was 22, looking like that, or 29, looking like this is. It's really interesting. Look, but then they try to be like, no, you pay. It's you. Now it's you. It's like this. And then later on, I'm looking at videos of her that they try to create like a perception of appealingness. Like when she's not talking, like when she's kind of normal, those kind of her interacting, they try to find ways to make her look better in my head. I'm like, oh, okay, so pathetic. But this is what they do. I'm a target individual that is dealing with all this manipulation from the Department of Defense Technology, destroying my organs. I don't know if I'm digesting properly, but I don't think so. right? And they tell me how they're gonna, oh, people are seeing me. I was like, people, whoever seeing me knows these manipulations. But it doesn't mean it's not gonna happen to me. Whatever horrible thing is gonna happen to me. If these childlike individuals can participate, who cannot? If they can be this dumbed down, I'm sure many other can. But if you're gonna try to act this way and think I'm gonna let you go with your acting mentality and delude yourself in this way, you're gonna be embarrassed. Because the truth is, a man who's a little bit more aggressive than me would be very aggressive to them. Because the reality is, these people do horrible things to not only men. This is, this I get like this mixture of feeling of frustration and comicalness. Like I want to laugh and be mad at the same time. It's just a weird feeling. It's like this is like you don't you feel no shame? I have the shame for them. Like you don't you feel embarrassed? Like where do you get this level of shamefulness? Like lack of shame. It must take something out of them. It can be. I don't think that something is taken away from them. These people came and say the name of a pedophile that picked up kids, called Roy Moore, and they are here trying to make me accept that, try to make me subscribe to the way that this is what I would find appealing. This, with all due respect, it's a kid, but come on. It's sad, and I don't want to insult this kid. He's a kid. But now I'm here just like, really, don't make me say what I'm seeing. I don't want to. Because I'm not here to look into, like, what I'm not. At first I thought it was some young rapper or something that signed on there, Maybe she's like this new female young rapper whatever. I was like, oh, that's actually this is his kid. So it's like, then she comes in, and she's like, oh, she's 16. Because I was just gonna scroll down and pass by this thing. It's like, okay, who's this? Like, some rapper, okay, whatever. She just comes in like she's 16. Because I was gonna, I'm going through the interview. I'm kind of scrolling down and past that. I'm not even care about it. And she's like, oh, she's 16. I was like, okay, what? I was like, and then I'm like, oh, is she? Like, I don't know. Like, let me see. Sure, because I was like, when I passed by, I thought it was just some random female rapper that I was not really too much interested about listening to that conversation. When she said, oh, she's 16, I'm like, okay. That's what, oh, okay. Well. Then they started trying to create some kind of sensation stimulations. But that's the things I have to deal with. I know that because of how I'm not going with the flow. How I've been humiliating them. Listen, whatever they do is easy, but it takes a price. The price is no self-respect. I remove their self-respect when they do this. They will not look at themselves in a respectable way, and I will not look at them in a respectable way. They know that. Somebody dropped some food in front of me, and they wanted me to be aggressive, like they wanted me to be like scared of them. Like I should be, and I'm listening to like this news about, it's not news, but when they were talking about how this bill was supposed to stop the issue with pedophilia and these entities, the DOD entities, because they're being ranked as 19th out of 2,900 in regard to sharing child porn. I'm listening to this, and this guy still wants to like look at me. Oh, I'm looking at him. It's like, you're a piece of low life. You know who's the pedos. I know who's the pedos. I'm looking at you right now. And I hear somebody in the doorway like she's 15. I was like, I don't know who the fuck they're talking about. I'm like, because I expect them to frame me, right? I expect some kind of framing happening. And I don't know. I know they're gonna sell their kids to these pedophiles. And they go harass their children. So I'm like, are you talking about the kid they're gonna frame me with? Like I don't understand. Because they kind of like method acting. Like they really to make themselves go with this retarded, like they have to create this story reality to be true. So they literally like make themselves believe, oh my gosh, the father's gonna be so mad. Like they literally telling you they're gonna frame you, but at this point they want you to believe this BS so much, like even tell them, oh their father's waiting there in jail. I'm like, poor father. That's poor your father. I feel sorry for your father. Look at your kids are being coerced to do these things. That's nobody's no father want that. No real father. It's like he's gonna be mad. He's gonna impale you. It's gonna it's like, pfft. Yo, he should be mad about what's going on to his daughters. He should be mad that his daughters are being used in these nasty ways. You know the future of anybody who's involved in that is just sad. What's the future? Imagine you grow up, you're like 15, 16, and you're being told to frame somebody. Imagine you say 10 years from now. Do you think psychologically you're going to be normal? No, you fucked. You damaged for real. There's nothing that's going to happen to me that's going to change what's going to happen to this kid. They just threw this kid in the trash. But in a diluted reality, they're like, no, he's gonna fuck you, he's gonna do it. It's like, you're so pathetic. You can't even say Roy Moore. You can't say the name of a pedophile that will actually pick up your daughter. Me out here forcing me to look at these kids with baby hair logo like this big. And try to make me believe that it's not the she with Matt, it's you. I've been so super validated, and there's more validation all the time. Now, this validation doesn't end what's gonna happen to me. But if I was them, I would be scared. Not scared of like whatever's gonna happen to me not happening to me. This is a formal, the government's gonna do that, whatever. But there's definitely a price. Target individual. Today was long and rough because I don't sleep well and they do just go back and forth. But I've been super validated. Whatever teenager or kid or young person that they try to, now at this point it's not even like me just not even being interested. Like, I'm not even interested in regard of like what this person has to say. No interest in regard of like I just want to move forward to the next interview what the other part. So I'm skipping that part where there's this kind of to me like okay there's some like young female rapper or whatever. I don't know if it's gonna be like my type of rap. So I'm just gonna go to the next portion. And I hear somebody, oh she's 16 or 15. It's like this. Okay, I'm looking. Oh, that's the daughter. Oh. They start creating stimulations. Like, you think that this? Do you think that I will ever be identifying to this? I don't care how good of an actor you are in front of me. You go. I'm going to humiliate you, the real way. You think this is what? You can play with my libido, of course, but I'm not going to identify. I know you can do this. They want to method act their way into making you accept these things. And like now they're gonna act when they torture you. No, they're not gonna act. They're gonna torture me, but I'm not gonna identify with this manipulation you make me experience. And I know you can't even say Roy Moore. I can say that in your face. I'll be like, this is why, you clown. Yes, you want to agitate me. I understand, but there's a price. When we see each other, I'll be blasting this thing about this pedophilia issue, and you'll be like, oh, now we mapped it. I had no interest in it. I don't care. It's not even like, now the argument in my head is like, you didn't recognize her age immediately. It's like, what? I'm just trying to move to the next part. I don't care about who she is. I just got a weird style. I'm not going to talk about how she looks, but I'm just like, I want to go to the next portion of this interview. I'm not interested in hearing her music or or whatever rap she is or thinking that she's a rapper. It's like, okay. But then they say, oh, it's like, now I'm supposed to be like, oh, you see, didn't guess her age. Guess her age? I don't even want to guess what she does. I don't even want to guess who she is. I'm just trying to move to the next portion. Right? And so they try to agitate you in this way. Now, these people are so pedophilia-centric, it's humiliating. I saw the father of, I think this is going to be the guy who's going to have his kids do something or say something. Because in our parliament, I've seen some very young-looking people like looking like they're teenage kids, and I made video about them. I actually removed the video because they're just, I kind of felt bad, and some of the faces could be seen. So I was like, no. And there's two kids, really young kids, like they look like 14, 13, like early teenager. I don't even want to. It's so embarrassing to them. Like I don't even want to humiliate them to that level. Like I feel bad for these kids. Like I'm not gonna make a video about it. You should see how this sad piece, sad kids, so sad. I was like, I can make a video and show like this is the, look at this bottom, like these little babies, not even little babies, ugh, these little kids, like look at it. They even try to walk in this, like I'm like, look at this. How embarrassing is that? Look at this. They sell these little kids now. This bottom feeders working for pedophiles. I saw the father there. I'm just taking my time going back into my apartments. I'm listening to this piece about this law, this government law, this bill that's supposed to help assist the limitation and the limiting the amount of child porn being shared using DoD network. And the guy in that says specifically, he's like, listen, this bill is not supposed to go into like their personal computer or home. It's supposed to just look at the DoD devices and network. Like that's how bad it is. Because that alone is where they're seeing all this traffic of child porn being shared and circulated within the network to show the volume and the issue. So I want him to listen to that. Like, you see, I told you that. I told you sold your children to these pedophiles. They're the one running this program. This is their world. You work for pedophiles. You accept it. You sold your soul to pedos. Anyways, I know who run the show. The law enforcement is involved. The hospitals are involved. The justice system is involved. And it's run by this governmental entity. And your dumbass is to try to make me accept that this is what I'm going to be subscribing to. Nope. It's so pathetic. Now, I understand that death comes to all of us, and I expect a terrible death because I humiliated these people who are truly pedophiles. And I mean pedophiles in the sense that's the people running the show. So pedophilia centric. So what happens when somebody want to present such a facade but is so demolished in regard to the facade? The facade is over. It's like magically over. Do you know they can't even say the name of this person here? They can't say the name of this man.
And go a food courting. More. More even went to the mall to get into the holiday spirit. One woman recalls that she was 14 and working as Santa's helper at the Gadsden Mall in 1977 when Moore first spoke to her and told her she would look pretty. 2 years later, when she was 16, he asked her out on dates. He hit on one of Santa's elves. Well, a true evangelical, he's putting the Christ back in Christmas. Wow. And it wasn't just the mall, folks. One Alabama journalist claims that Moore was also banned from the YMCA for his inappropriate behavior of soliciting sex from young girls. And don't forget, he did that while he was assistant DA. That's it.
They can't say his name. And me? Wanting me to think that this kind of person will ever do anything to me. Do you understand how pathetic it is? In my head, they try to find ways to make this kid appealing. Now I'm not here to insult this child in whatever way she looks. You know, she's a kid. But because the way they try to make me accept this false reality, I'm like, please don't make me say what's obvious here. Don't make me. And she's a kid. That's why. So man, I'm sorry. Um, hmm, that's wrong. But I'm just trying not to laugh because they want me to say something that I'm saying that is, you know. But at the end of the day, I'm not gonna let them live their fantasy. Uh, I'm not. And they're just so sad, having to force me to say these things. I don't want to insult this kid. Matter of fact, I don't didn't care at all about this person or whatever she was. I'll just go scroll to next. But this bottom feeders, humiliated by reality. You know what I did before making this video? I made sure that um, hmm, I made sure that they hear the things that they hate hearing. This is the kind of things I like to now go and make sure that they hear that clearly.
Has come under investigation for links to the proliferation of graphic material. Called Project Flickr, some 5,000 individuals have been identified as having subscriptions to child porn sites, including many DoD-affiliated persons. So this ongoing national investigation has now prompted the House to introduce a bipartisan bill that would help the DoD stop the use of its network to, quote, possess, procure, or produce child pornography. Joining us to discuss this, investigative journalist Ben Swan. So Ben, the Pentagon already takes measures to limit worker access to stuff like porn by rolling out what they call the Personal Electronic Device PED policy, where workers have to drop off their phones and lockers before entering their offices. All their online searches are accessible by security if or when needed. Their Wi-Fi access is monitored in digital security suites. So how is this happening?
Well, it's happening because even though there is a certain amount of limitation on access, those who are working in the Department of Defense, clearly it appears to be thousands of individuals in the Department of Defense, are finding ways around this, specifically by using the Department of Defense IP addresses and also apparently peer-to-peer sharing within the department's network. So this study that was done on this issue, and it is pretty horrifying, Manila, to consider this. It shows that the Department of Defense ranked 19th out of almost 3,000 networks in terms of peer-to-peer sharing of child pornography. That is absolutely incredible. This bill attempts to essentially say, look,
this is how bad it is. Well, me, with this ability, this technology that has the ability to manipulate you, to make you perceive things however they want, they were literally giving me sexual stimulations, arousals on this person. On this person. Try to find ways to make her look so when she like not talk and try to find ways to create a perception. That's like really so sad, delusional. You understand the reality they in? You know the strength and how much you have to do to counter reality to that level. There's an argument that's happening in my brain that they're trying to create. What happened is, within your brain, they create dialogue. So via V2K and synthetic telepathy, they have the ability to manipulate your thoughts. So you have dialogues that's happening in your brain that they can create. They can have you have a sense of thoughts, imaginations, and stream of thoughts and rationality that they play with. It's meant to push you to insanity. In some of the testimonials, I heard somebody describe it very well. They basically pushes you to a state of retardation and insanity. And this is basically what kind of things that's happening to my brain right now. Like, for example, these dialogues they're having me have. You know, sometimes what they do is when somebody is like a young adult, they try to make me imagine her to be underage. They do that all the time. They've done that to like multiple people. Like, oh, you know, the person that worked at GNC, she was underage. This person, that person you were with there, she was and they make up things, right? And there's one who's like this TikToker dancer who look like a 20-year-old or somebody like that. It's like, no, her too. Come try to find whoever they can make me believe that is an adult to be an underage, right? And so right now, when I'm just scrolling through this interview, I don't care about this person. I'm like, oh, okay, what's next? It's like, oh, she's 16, you see? And then in my head's like, you see, you didn't know that. I was like, what? I didn't even try to like know that. I'm just trying to move on to somewhere, another portion of the interview. It's like, you see, they're asshole. You're gonna be raped. We're gonna frame you. This is so bad. It's so pathetic. But they try to diverge and confuse you and disorient you because they want you to identify with this. They are depatterning you and repatterning you. That's what now they're here trying to get you to identify with whatever reaction you get to this to this person, to this individual who's a teenage kid. And it's nasty. And you know, they change things, topics. You know, when I was in the shower, I was thinking about the people, you know, these perps are so, they leave off whatever they can manipulate me to experience. My memories are completely manipulated. They can create memories and have me experience those memories with experiences that I didn't experience at the time. But they can even create thoughts. The memory is completely falsified. My first video about memories was in 2020. And it's been the same thing over and over. Everything changed slowly and getting worse in my memories. And then they have these perps who disorient you. Right? For example, I'm talking about how they changed my memories and manipulate my memories, and me talking about it 3 years ago. This person's, oh, change memories, you're going to be chained. Now, I'm not saying this torture is not going to happen. My point is they're saying that to me right now because they want to disorient me into accepting these things. I'm telling you, they're going to make that mistake in person when they're going to try to go with this character they've built and think that I'm lying and I'm going with this level of, no, I know you manipulate me this way. And I know you try, I know it's beyond over. For me, I know there's nothing I can do really. The government is running this program. You guys are not winners or losers. You're just implementers. I think you're more losers than anything. I think what makes them losers is the fact that they think that this is a victory. This is a sad, pathetic way of living life. You don't live in reality. They even tell it themselves, this is our reality. You're right, it's a distorted reality where you're trying to escape from reality because reality is going to come to you. So you can escape it for now, but it's going to come back to you. You're a perp. You work for these governmental entities where there's pedophilia issues. Your job is to implement these tactics that manipulate your brain. Now you even use your children, coerce your own children to involve in framing. What kind of, that's the life you want to live for your children? You pathetic low life. You're a coward. You're training your child to be a coward so early in their life. This is like, in every way, you've destroyed your children's life and you don't even know that. For whatever incentives. Look at you now dumbing yourself down. You can't even see the name of a pedophile that pick up kids as young as your child. And you're here telling me that you guys are mad, when they try to pass a bill that is trying to limit the amount of child porn that's being circulating in this DOD network. And you're here trying to just me watching an interview, just scrolling down this portion of the interview where this kid is shown, and I'm just moving forward because I'm not interested to see whatever this is about. I think it's probably like some rapper, like whatever. And now it's just like, oh, she's 16. It's like, oh, I don't give a shit what she is. I'm not even interested in what she has to say. I'm just trying to move to the end of this video. Yeah, but you didn't say that immediately. It's like, what? You see, so now I'm like, oh, how old is she? 16. Good. Shit. No, whatever. She looks like some rapper that she's signed to this guy, maybe whatever. I don't care. No interest in whatever she has to say. Not even interest in her, but interest in whatever this is about. Now she's 16. It hurts. Look, okay, this is the life that you live. Now, that's their job. But for me, I think my purpose is for these people involved in this. It's not going to be free. It was not going to be free even if I didn't say anything. But I want you to understand that you warned me about the horrible thing I'm going to experience. I warned you about how you're going to be blessed for it. And I know you're the nobodies because the people who put me in this program donated money to this man. Which you can't even say his name.
And go a food courting. More. More even went to the mall to get into the holiday spirit. One woman recalls that she was 14 and working as Santa's helper at the Gadsden Mall in 1977 when Moore first spoke to her and told her she would look pretty. 2 years later, when she was 16, he asked her out on dates. He hit on one of Santa's elves. Well, a true evangelical, he's putting the Christ back in Christmas. Wow. And wow.
They can't say that because the people who put me in this program donate money to this man. That's why I know his name. Because it was such a controversy that they will still donate money after this allegation came out. While they here try to make me have reaction toward this apparently 16 or so year old girl. No. You understand? And so tell me how they're gonna watch me being raped. I'd rather get raped. I couldn't live with your life. You don't understand how bad your life is, in the sense that me, I'm gonna go through pain and torture because I have no choice. You choose to live this degrading life, disgraceful life, by choice? No. How much money? Like this is the cost of being God. Especially now with the validation I have, it's crazy. Listen, they do stimulations, sexual stimulations. Here, magic, boom. Listen to this.
Any part of the body. This technology can be used to sexually manipulate the target. It can make the target feel sexual arousal, or it can sort of turn off the...
Like literally saying this has nothing to do with me, but I'm experiencing that. I'm getting forced sexual stimulations. This may literally say like the things of what target individual experience, based on his own experience, and I'm sure based on what he figured out from other testimonials. It's like this technology can make target individual feel sexual arousals. And then you have people like this, who are the one like supposed to be these investigators. Like that. This is the kind of people who are supposed to be like, yeah, you see, we looked, we mapped it. These people tell you that this which they stimulate me right now. This is who I'm stimulated by. Right now they're still trying. They're making me think of like when I look closer to try to find ways to make her more appealing to me. And they're like, no, they rape you. You find out. Can you imagine in every way possible? We have these people trying to get you to accept these things. Well, this is the reality of the entities working right now, the stimulation, they're cranking out stimulation to try to change this. Well, this reality is what's happening.
In secrets, potentially making this. The Defense Department releasing brand new details into an investigation involving child pornography. and dozens of its workers and contractors, some with top-level security clearance. Not only are these very serious accusations, but investigators say some of the people involved were handling the nation's most sensitive secrets, potentially making this a matter of national security. Chief Fox Report correspondent Jonathan Hunt with the news. Appalling story, Jonathan. Do we know more about these people and their security clearances?
Well, we don't know their exact job titles, John, but what we do know is that they did appear to have been working, some of them at high levels, across a range of government agencies. Take a look at this, for instance, the National Security Agency, the National Reconnaissance Office, and the very secretive Defense
They're very secretive.
Advanced Research Projects Agency.
It's DARPA. Child porn probe. You see reality? As I'm saying that, oh, they're gonna rape you, they're gonna do this, they're gonna, they rape, they do this and that, they try to disorient reality. This is just the obvious things. And you have this childlike individual supposed to make you subscribe to these things. Still trying to make me accept, I'm getting these arousing feelings that they force me to have, like this guy said. And then hearing these people speaking to me via voice to skull, which is the ability to project your voice onto somebody's face, onto somebody's brain. Even speaking right now, you see the struggle. But for them to act, to think I'm going to subscribe to it, no, let's go. Thank you, God. I could live like them. The life they live is easy. The only hard part is how dumb down they have to make themselves be. They have to just turn off logic, rationality, and self-respect. And that's it. Not here, they're here trying to make me accept whatever reactions or even narrative they're trying to push toward this. In my head, whatever possible the ways they try to create this perception. And every time I'm getting these reactions that they make me experience, they're like, oh no, they raped you, see? I'd rather get raped, to be honest. I don't want to be raped, but I'd rather get raped than dealing with the fact that I have to make somebody accept this manipulation and call this a war or a victory. It's pathetic. My life is, I'm slowly dying, but you're not slowly living more. There's not a trait like that. You're dying too. You're dying in different ways. Your fucking self-respect is dying. You don't have no self-respect at this point. You think that you're gonna act a way for me to accept this manipulation. They're making me think of this this rapper called Lil Mama. That's not old, but this is around my generation. And try to make me, because they have some resemblance, and you know, and they try to kind of create something there and try to. So pathetic. But with that being said, to finish this off, this is how they live off what they manipulate me so much. You know, I am so validating that now all they talk about is what's going to happen to me once they frame me in this pedophilia way. Which it should be an indication that if they're going to frame you this way and they have the ability to manipulate you, how are they going to manipulate you? In the way they're going to frame you. So they're going to do this thing where they either say they're going to implant child porn, as I'm saying that they're doing something to my hand. They're going to implant child porn, right? These people who have problem with child porn, you just heard the issues in these agencies with child porn. They are ranked top tier for child porn, sharing, right? They say they're going to dare to do that. A place where they have problems with that. Or they're going to say that some child here, as the same age of this poor kid, or even younger, I think they were saying 15, 14, or something like that, that I did something to these kids. They're pathetic, Lola. So sad. I'm not going to let them live their fantasy. That's how they say they're going to frame me. Based on how they tell you they're going to frame you, you should know how they're going to manipulate you. Because it's validation. When somebody say, hey, we're going to frame you, and this is what we're going to say. We're going to say you did this, something to this kid. And these are the people in your brain. It's like, okay, that's validation to me, you know. So you are affirming me, and you are manipulating my brain to experience whatever reaction I have toward children. I'm in the shower. I'm showering, and as I'm showering, I'm just thinking about how if the like the way they have to, like how dumb down they're making themselves be. Because imagine that they were saying, "Oh, we don't have anything against you." It's like, "Oh yeah, let me just pretend I'm you guys." Imagine that what I have against you to prove my point is, oh, we proved it because we something you did when you were in middle school. You see, that's proof, right? That's that. So today, when we make you experience these nasty things or these kids, these babies, we said, no, we mapped it to you when you were in middle school because that's proof. Remember what you did as a kid in 13, 14 years old? See, that's proof. And you tell me you're me. And that person says, oh, let me tell you what I have. I have testimonials of men and women around the world saying that they are manipulating my brain in these pedophilia ways. That's nothing, right? They are forcing me to get sexual stimulations and aiming those sexual stimulations toward children. One says specifically talking about teenagers, she's like, oh, especially teenagers, they do this thing at night. That's proof. That's not proof, huh? Then they say, then I find out that they can manipulate the libido. There's nothing yet. Then there's validation that they torture children sexually. Oh, that's not proof. There's nothing still. Then we found out the entities that runs this program have so much problem with pedophilia, they are ranked 19th out of 2,900. There's nothing still yet, huh? Then the largest mass shooting last year, which was in October, the man who killed 18 people said they were calling him a pedophile. He killed 18 people. This mass shooting ranked 10th out of all the mass shooting ever in the United States. Still nothing, huh? Man, what I have, you paid for what you did as a kid. The rest is manipulations. For the teenagers, in 2014, that's what I'm bringing up. In 2014, I followed somebody on Snapchat. This person was like turning 18, or about to be just before she turned 18. I thought she was an adult. She looked way older than her age. I followed on Snapchat. If you look at her, you're like, you can't believe she's a kid. So what? You couldn't believe. I couldn't. I was shocked. She looked way older than her age. Never talked to her, but I thought, oh my gosh, she's probably a college student. Finding out, oh no, it was a year before she turned 18. So she looked older now than now. See, that's proof. That's proof that I found somebody who I thought was an adult, and I never even talked to her. So today, when they make me have this estimation towards like kids and teenagers and anybody who looks young, it's like, oh, do you see? It's like, even people that I have zero interest in. Just because I'm not guessing, I'm not trying to guess anybody's age. I'm just trying to move on, move to the next interview. It's like, oh, you see 16. It's like, what? I'm not even trying to guess her. I don't even want to know anything about her. I just want to go to the next. You see, they know. Well, I didn't even try to know. I'm just trying to move this interview to the next topic. You didn't know? No, I didn't try to know because I don't care about her. I want to move on to the next interview, to the next portion of the interview. You see, that's how dumb they have to make themselves be. So imagine what I have versus what these people have. Because I know reality. I'm a target individual. They know they're trying to change who I am. They know me very well. Very, very well. Their job is to change me into somebody I'm not. That is their job. That is what this program is about. It's about mind control, mind manipulation. They are tweaking, changing around how to change somebody, how to control somebody, and then make them accept these changes. That's their job. That is what they're supposed to be doing to me. They're not this stupid naturally. They're making themselves stupid and stay in character to make you believe this falsified reality. I'm in a shower. They bring me back to somebody I was with. She's a perp. And I have problem with my foot. I know I'm gonna have some very serious handicap. But she knows that. And I was trying to tell her, hey, you stepping on my foot? You know what she does? She put all her weight on one of my foot and the other one. I'm like, hey. Right? I'm like, hey, please stop. Later on, I talked to her about it. I'm like, hey, what was that? You know that my foot is not doing well. Why are you stepping on my foot? I know why she's doing that. She's trying to make it worse. And then she comes out with ways. I don't think she thought I was gonna say anything about it. She's like, you know what? It's like, like I was trying to be cute, and now, like, when like, little kids dance on their father's foot, and they do this dance, and then they try to make me imagine that, and give me some stimulations. It's like, yeah, I remember you had this stimulation when this happened, when you were, a little kid, a little girl was dancing with you, stepping on your foot, like a father and son, and making me have this stimulation. It's like, you see, we proved it. You see, we mapped it. You've been manipulating memories like that all the time. See that? That's proof. I'm sure in my time, this have happened where they dance, a kid danced with me, and she or he was on my foot, and I was doing this. But I know they're manipulating these memories. Most likely, I saw that happen to a father and a daughter dancing this way. It was probably some endearing things. But they try to make me imagine having that experience where I'm getting stimulations. See, we mapped it. They've been changing my memories on everything. And they live off the memories they manipulate. And get everybody quiet. It's nasty. So for me, it's just understanding their number one job is to make me accept these manipulations. It's never gonna happen. I'm too validated. Memory manipulations, I've been talking about it since 2020. Let me show you how crazy it is. This is me in 2020 talking about my memory manipulation. This is not some memories that I had, a false memory that they made in 2020, but now every time it's new falsified memory. I said this in 2020.
Memory where you actually had that memory, but the perception changes in that memory, and sensations are added to it. It's just so weird to even try to explain something like that, because it does feel so, so abnormal. But adding sensations, feelings, perceptions of things you weren't feeling, just to also create this narrative in this persona. And this really, is to the point where you don't even want to fall for any of your memories.
This is in 2020. Am I a prophet? Am I saying some magic? No, it's because that's what they've been doing. So this is every time this is like that, new memories, and this happened. Trash. No, it didn't happen with these stimulations. You're adding this sensation and stimulation to it. In some cases, the whole thing didn't even happen, but maybe I've seen somebody dancing with their mother and their daughter and whatever, father and daughter, and they're like, oh, you see, you felt this. They are changing memories to make me accept these false memories. And the best is when the memories are like blur. Like when you're gonna remember, remember like that wedding, at that time, you think I'm gonna remember that was a specific moment. And so that's when they can change it even better. Ooh! They can make you feel this sensation, stuff like that. Can you imagine? And then implanting this stimulation to make me have today into a memory where they make me imagine me and a little kid, little girl, or a little boy dancing, like, this endearing when you see like fathers and their kids, when the kid is on their foot and they dance with their parents, and try to make me imagine that and then give me stimulations. You see, for me, it's this: whatever's gonna happen to me, I've accepted that. death is coming to all of us. I'm just glad that with my imperfection, they're removing away who I am. Now I'm becoming some kind of like some dignified being. I know who I am. I know what gives me stimulation. It's not this nastiness that I put in my head. It's definitely not this here. And it's not these babies that they force me to have the stimulation and say, no, we mapped it to you when you were a kid. And even create complete falsified memories with sensation in it. I'll never let them live their fantasy. I just know who I am, and I'll never identify with this manipulation. And it's funny, sometimes the battle in my head is, oh, but okay, this is false, right? But this feeling and sensation that's toward these little kids is real. Because this is the kind of things that make me experience. This is not it. They're trying to box in these thoughts. Because what they're trying to say is, with the little kids, it's like they've mapped it to what I used to respond, how I used to react when I was a child. So that feels like, does not feel right. That feels like it's real. Because they say that's when we take your brain now and match it to what you had when you were a kid. And that's why it feels real. No, you're falsifying that. And then you go into my childhood memories as a kid and say, no, that's how you felt when you were a kid. That's real. It's disgusting. And of course, the things they do toward the little babies is much worse than when they do this to the older kids. Like, I'd rather deal with this nastiness than the babies. The babies are the worst feeling. That's the worst. This is what scares me the most. I'm not even scared of human beings, of adult beings. I'm scared of babies. I'm scared of kids. Because kids, the nastiness these motherfuckers do to me is so traumatizing that I don't want to be around kids. When I see a guy, they don't even, I feel emptiness. They look at me, like, you are just nasty. But if they had a kid, I'd be, because I know what they can make me experience. Traumatized individual, stay strong.